So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given that x square plus 2x minus 15 is equals to minus m. X is an integer which is greater than or equal to minus 10 and less than or equal to 10. And we have to tell what is the probability that m is greater than 0, right? So let's try and solve this question. So we are given that x square plus 2x minus 15 is equals to minus m, right? So if we do the factors of this will be x square plus 3x minus 2x, sorry, 5 is a 15, plus 5x minus 3x minus 15. So x plus 5 minus 3x plus 5. Again, I'm doing this just to show you, otherwise it can be done directly. So x minus 3, x plus 5 is equals to minus m. I hope this is pretty clear, right? Okay, so I'll just write it over here. So x minus 3, x plus 5 is equals to minus m, right? I hope this makes all the sense. So basically what we mean is that the product of this and the product of this is minus m, right? Okay. Now we know that we have to find that the probability that m is greater than 0, right? So let's assume that m is greater than 0. If m is greater than 0, what will be minus m? If m is greater than 0, so obviously minus m will be less than 0, right? So that means this part is what? Negative, right? This part is negative, right? This means the product of two things comes out to be negative, right? So there are two possibilities, that either this is positive or this is negative, or this is negative and this is positive. These are the two possibilities that exist, right? I hope this makes sense, because if both are positive, the product will be positive. If both are negative, the product will be positive. But we want the product to be negative, so one has to be positive and the other has to be negative. So let's take this positive and this negative, and in the other case, let's take this negative and this positive. Pretty clear, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, that for example, let's take this case, that this is positive and this is negative. If this is positive, this means x minus 3 is greater than 0, right? And this is negative, right? That means x plus 5 is less than 0, right? So if you solve this comes out to be x is greater than 3 and x is less than minus 5. I hope this makes complete sense, right? Now tell me one thing, is this even possible? Is this thing possible? No. Why? Because you are saying that there is a number x which is greater than 3. It can be 3, 4, 5, 3.5, 9, whatever. At the same time, x is also less than minus 5. So how is it possible that some number is greater than 3 and at the same time less than minus 5, right? So this is practically not possible. So the first case completely becomes wrong, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the second case, right? What is the second case? The second case is x minus 3 is negative. That means x minus 3 is less than 0 and x plus 5 is positive. So x plus 5 is greater than 0. I hope this makes complete sense, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, if you solve this comes out to be x is less than 3 and x is greater than minus 5, right? This is completely fine, that x is less than 3 and x is greater than minus 5. So we can write this as x is greater than minus 5 and less than 3. I hope there should be no problem in this, right? This should be completely fine, right? Now tell me one thing, we know that x is an integer, right? So now if you talk about this case, how many possible integers are there? If we talk about x, so that means x can be minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, right? These are the possible values of x, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are total 7 possible values of x, right? Perfect. And tell me one thing, what were all the values of x from starting from minus 10 up to 10? So how many values are there starting from minus 10 up to 10? There are 21 values, right? 21 values. How? Because from minus 10 to minus 1, there are 10 values, right? From 1 to 10, there are 10 values plus value 0. So 10 plus 0, 10 plus 1 plus 10. That means 21, right? So total, there are 21 values, out of which, for our case, for the probability for which we are looking, there are a total of 7 values. So in that case, what does the probability become? The probability becomes 7 upon 21, right? The probability becomes 7 upon 21, which is 1 upon 3. So this is our final answer. 1 upon 3 is the probability that m will be greater than 0. I hope this is absolutely clear. There should be no confusion. So firstly, we took all the values of x, which are 21 over here, and then we found out for our case what are the possible values. So for our case, our condition, there are 7 possible values there can be. So 7 upon 21, 1 upon 3. I hope this should be pretty clear.